time for Adam at the movies. What do you got?
Let me tell you. 3 for the price of 1.
No way.
Three
No
movies for the price of 1.
Wow. Now how much would you pay?
Now how much would you pay, and why would you pay that? Well, let's talk about this for a second. This weekend, there are 3 very distinct films out that have nothing in common. You've got Moana, the live-action version. You've got SIF's closing night film called The Invite coming out. And you've got the latest installment of the Evil Dead franchise called Evil Dead Burn. What do they have in common? Absolutely nothing. But I have found, here, follow with me, I found a golden thread that attaches all of these together. And this is a perfect weekend to have this discussion, because we don't talk about the producers or the executive producers behind films very often. Usually we talk about the actors. Usually we talk about the directors. But rarely do we ever say, oh yeah, it's produced by so-and-so, or executive producer so-and-so did this. And why is that? Or what is that? Well, first let's talk a little bit about who is what and what is what. So an executive producer, what do they do? Well, they secure funding. They also kind of keep high-level oversight on the project. They go from scripting to distribution. They're kind of the ones overwatching, and often because they're securing the funding, they say something along the lines of, yeah, I'll give you the $1 million, but can you get my cat mittens in this? You know, and that's reasons you get cat mittens.
And then they get points on the back end.
And they get points on the back end of this, exactly. They also help to increase marketability. They also, usually because of their financial backing, can attract some larger talent to the film. So that's what an executive producer is, in broad strokes, doing. What is a producer for a film doing? Well, they're the ones that are actually doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the day-to-day operations and actual management of getting the film done. Where a director is keeping a vision of the film in mind, the producer is actually the one that's also helping to make that vision happen, pulling the strings, finding the effects departments.
And folks would be amazed at how many moving parts there are and how many people are involved in this.
Absolutely.
It's an incredible undertaking.
They are doing significant project management. That is what they are doing at the nth degree as producers. So, producers and executive producers, what is their impact in this weekend's roll of films? Well, let's talk about Moana for a second. Moana, this is the live-action version of Moana, starring, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you know, kind of coming back as the live version of the cartoon version of himself.
And his hair is on point.
Look at that.
Wow, I love it.
It's almost like it's like an Elizabethan wig or something like that. But yeah, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, also a producer on this film. So why is that significant? In this case, Dwayne has this sense of, from what I understand, he is obviously a Polynesian, but also really wanted to help carry out that feel and show his love for the Polynesian culture. And so that's why he's really driving this film. He was the one that really took the idea to say, look, we're going to remake this, we're going to do it now. And he wanted to be able to do it, from what I understand, while he still had the chops and the ability to do it. So that's a large portion of what's going on with Moana, and why this one's getting made right now, and why Dwayne is one of the producers on it. The film itself, I'm going to say, is about 2.5 pops. It is a shot-for-shot, song-for-song, note-for-note recreation of Moana, which was out 10 years ago. And you're kind of going, why? Well, Disney's saying, we don't think we're tapped out as far as the finances are this concerned, because they released Moana 2, there's a Moana 3 in the works, and it'll be interesting how this actually measures out this weekend in the face of Toy Story 5, Minions, and now this live recreation of Moana. That's a lot of kids' films all out at the same time. The important thing to make about this is that 60% of the global budgets on these live-action films from Disney, they typically end up coming from international audiences. So it's not really for U.S. where they're going to make that money. It's going to be overseas. The next one is The Invite. Now, this was the latest from Olivia Wilde as the actress and the director. It was SIF's closing night film. And the important thing to make here, great cast, this sizzles. I'm going to give this one 3 pops. It's no surprise why SIF chose this as their closing night film. It's talky, and it's actually going to launch a lot of conversation later. But what makes this significant, and it's significant of independent film, is that this feature took 9 executive producers. So read executive producers as money bags. 9 executive producers to come to the table to make this happen. 3 producers and 1 associate producer. And this is not an uncommon theme when it comes to indie films. They often don't have a lot of funding. So it's going to take a lot of executive producers or people who get their name credits attached to films to make the thing happen.
My daughter saw The Invite and she loved it.
What a cast. I'm like looking at Ed Norton and Seth Rogen.
all the people that are attached to it, they got attached for a passion project, and this one's fun. Like I say, it is going to leave you having conversations with your significant other after the film.
Yeah.
That brings us to the final film of Adam at the Movies for this weekend.
Wow.
Evil Dead Burn. And I know you're saying, why are we doing this? Well, let's just crank this back, because this is the latest installment of the Evil Dead universe. Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. These were all horror films that shaped the horror landscape in the 80s and, well, late 80s, really, by two friends, director Sam Raimi and actor Bruce Campbell. Now, this film is a solid two-pop horror action film, and fans of the genre, you really don't need me to say more. But what's interesting here is that Evil Dead Burn features director Sebastian Vanishek. Now, Sebastian was actually handpicked by who? Well, one of the producers, which would be no other than Sam Raimi. So Sam Raimi, director of all the other Evil Dead films, except for the more recent ones here, Sam has a massive influence on this by being a big influence to Sebastian, the director. It's kind of, Sebastian is now doing his own thing, and he's putting his own, he's taking a lot of Raimi's DNA and injecting it into his own works here. So it's a very Sam Raimi-esque film. And oh, who's the executive producer on this? Bruce Campbell, the other of Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, that duo. So they have a significant, huge influence as to why this film is being made and why it looks and acts and feels the way it does, which shows to Goya it's more than just the directors, it's more than just the actors, those producers and executive producers. So you got to look at that lineup as well, because they have a massive influence on the films overall.
That one looks scary.
Yeah.
I don't want, her hands got smashed in the door.
It's fun. It's a lot of gore.
Know.
It's a lot of gore. So, and that scene in particular really cringy. So, yeah.
All right, Adam, good stuff.